All right. I think it's time to start this webinar. We have two of our speakers present today, Bernard and Amit Kumar Dey. Bernard is from Exin and Amit is the practice partner for Consultants Factory. So over to you, Amit.
Right. Thank you, Arvind. Right. Good evening and good afternoon and good morning from wherever you're joining. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this webinar for Digital Transformation Officer. So we have a few participants still joining in. So we will start right away. So if anybody joins in a little later, they would also get a recording of this webinar. So let's start. All right. So so my name is Amit Kumar Dey, and I'm a practice partner to Consultants Factory. And I also have a co-speaker, my friend Bernard is joining in from Netherlands. He's representing Exit. So let's just start. All right. So this is going to be an information session on Digital Transformation Officer, a certification from Exim, right? But before that, just a quick glance at who we are. So Consultants Factory, we call ourselves CFs. So who we are, so basically we are an IT management consulting and training organization. We cater to different domains when it comes to IT management, namely IT governance, information security and data privacy, IT service management, digital transformation, etc. And so we cater to different clients across the world, MNCs, help them establish management systems in these domains. And we also, impart knowledge with global certification-based trainings and certifications to all our clients' employees. So let me just move on to the topic for today. Today's topic is a digital transformation officer. It's a qualification which is a very credible qualification, globally acknowledged across different MNCs. Now, to begin with, we all understand, I mean, those of you who've joined Digital Transformation Officer webinar, I would presume that all of you have ideas about what digital transformation is all about. Well, we all know that every organization across the world is going through some sort of digital transformation journey, their own journey. It doesn't necessarily have to be focused only on technology. There are different parts, of digital transformation journey that each and every organization are into right now. So let's talk about a couple of very, very interesting points. As you can see on your screen, this is a very interesting question. How much money will globally be invested in digital transformation by 2025? So there are, estimates that we're gonna, across the world, different organizations across the world are gonna spend a huge amount of money in digital transformation projects. So there is an estimation which talks about a huge number which is being spent, and the number is well, it's close to 3.3 trillion US dollars, right? So it's a huge amount of money. That means across the world, more and more organizations are moving into their digital transformation journey, right? Now, there is a next question, which is even more interesting. What percentage of digital transformation projects fail across the world, according to Forbes? There is an estimate from Forbes, and they are saying that up to 84% of those digital transformation projects actually fail. Now imagine a huge amount of money is being spent across the world, which is close to 3.3 trillion USD, and up to 84% of them are likely to go in drain. So what could be the reason that digital transformation projects fails across the world. Now, there are many estimates, many definitions, many answers. However, three of the most important critical reasons why these digital transformation projects fail across the world. The top three reasons would be leadership mindset, culture of the organization, and the lack of right talent. Right now, when it comes to leadership mindset, so basically when you get onto a digital transformation project, it is a lot different from regular transformation projects, right? So the mindset, the leadership mindset has to accept it, and that's where the gap is. And another very important reason, a very critical reason, would be lack of right culture in the organization, right? And that also comes from the leadership and gets percolated down to the very front end employees. And the third reason, by the way, I would like to emphasize that these are not reason in its right order. It's just that there are top three reasons from across many organizations, and they've agreed that these are the top three reasons of why digital transformation projects across the world fails. The third reason we are talking about is the right talent or the lack of it. Right now, if your organization is on a journey of implementing a digital transformation project, right, it is something which is quite different from a regular transformation project. And obviously, for that, you need the right set of skill sets, right set of people to be onboarded, all right, or they need to be upskilled and cross-skilled, right? So the lack of the right talent with the right skill set, the right competencies is actually one of the most critical reasons why digital transformation project fails. Now, in other words, if you look a little deep, you will find out the other two reasons: the culture of an organization, or the lack of right culture of the organization, the lack of right leadership mindset. That also is somehow influenced with the right talent. If the right people with the right competencies and the right understanding where they're at the leadership, right, they will have the right mindset. They will bring in the right culture in the organization, right? So right talent is absolutely critical with the right competencies. Now, when we talk about digital transformation projects in any organization across the world, it doesn't necessarily have to be the know-how or the understanding or the knowledge of technology, right? You will find a lot of people with the right technical competencies, right? When you talk about a transformation project, managing them end to end, right? There are a broader competencies required, right? Which kind of have an eye end to end, which will actually be able to look at the entire picture and look at all the other aspects which is required apart from the technology, and understand how they integrate and how all these aspects gets linked to the business goal of the digital transformation project, right? So, and that's where it's very, very important to get the right skill sets, right? Now, there are many organizations across the world, quite a few of them, have come up with a lot of trainings and certifications. But one of the most prominent ones and effective ones is from Exim. Now, Exim has come up with a qualification called Digital Transformation Officer. And everybody knows who Exim is. It's one of the largest certification bodies across the world, based in Netherlands. I have my friend Bernard from Exim, who is the sales director of Netherlands Exim, joining me. And I would now open the stage for Bernard to take it over and talk more about it. Bernard?
Yes. Thank you, Amit. Can everybody hear me? Am I clear, loud, and
yes.
You understand me? Okay, great.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what is digital transformation? It's a commonly used big buzzword that sounds pretty cool, actually. But what does it mean? And I'm trying to get some clearance on that, and I'm going to talk about it here in today's webinar. My name is Bernard Comdeur, and I'm the sales director of the Benelux for Exim. So who is Exxon? Maybe you can go to the next slide. Okay, like here we are. Yeah, Exxon is like it's compiled from two words, Examination Institute. So pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, but at least you know where it's coming from. We're on an independent exam institute that's originated back in 1984, and we used to be a part of the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs. And it started as means of test control if the provided training were any good. So by letting people take or make an exam, this is one way to check if they still got the knowledge, right? If we look at the next slide for the here the action values, what we believe. Well, companies are made of people, and without good people, companies have a difficult time actually to exist. And therefore, we believe that people want to develop and develop themselves, and we help them with this. And therefore, empowering them to be able to do their job right. What we promise, well, as we said, we are an independent company, so we promise that by taking a training which leads to an exit exam, we will provide you, or we can assure that you got the right knowledge. And our independently, well, we're proud of our independence, and we only live by selling our exams. So we got no other connections with training organizations or any other companies than making exams, which where you can check your knowledge actually. The next slide, where we add value. If you look at this sheet, you can see that this is the whole column of an organization, right? You can see the need for digital competencies all through the column. And where we are as Exxon are helping is in the middle bit. We are not on the strategic level, nor are we on the applies level, but we are on in the middle, the tactical bit. Therefore, we don't have any vendor-related modules, nor do we have any senior-related modules, but we are right in the middle, in the technical stuff. The next one, please. Yeah, thank you. This is our digital skills portfolio. As you see, our modules can be put under 4 major subjects. Think of Agile, DevOps and Lean, business and service management, data protection and security, technologies, and software. And by combining the sum of, on the bottom side, you see the modules or some of the modules that we have. And by combining different modules according to the 40 function roles mentioned in the European competence framework, which is used globally, we have compiled some of the career paths. Next slide. Yeah, here, the Tshape skills. So what we do with these career paths, we make sure that there's a common knowledge base on the bottom, depending on the career path, and we go more in depth where it's necessary to be able to fulfill your job, fulfill your role, function. Next one. Yes. Oh, one back. Well, doesn't really matter. Digital transformation officer. Well, it sounds, first of all, sounds pretty cool, right? And it's a commonly used buzzword, but what is it? It is the use of technology that improves your business. It could be an ERP, an enterprise resource planning software, customer relationship software to manage your customers, or a financial and accounting software, or something to automate your shop software like robotics, Internet of Things, but it also could be blockchain or artificial intelligence. Um, I'm sorry, I'm a bit rambling on, but this is allows your business to be more productive, more efficient, and more effective. A little bit of history. I don't know really exact what is the date, but it all started back in the 80s and the 90s when um, it's an organically evolution with the use of technology, and it's used in organizations. We're using like spreadsheets and word processors, software like Word. And later in the in the 90s, it developed into big enterprise programs, which go beyond the word processors and the spreadsheets, and that allowed companies to track orders, production, information, financial, sales, and what we now know as ERP, right? Going forward in 2010, we see new technology developed like blockchain, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and you may have heard of, which have been developed to help companies to become even more productive and more efficient and more effective. And due to the term digital information, it has become sort of catch-all bucket of all these technologies. So there is no one definition of what digital transformation means. For some, it could be implementing an ERP system, and for others, it could be a financial system or robotics on the shop floor. So, as oh, we're not there yet to the trends. Sorry. Slide back, please. Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll just go on. We're not there yet. I will tell you. So I'll let you in on a secret, which Amit also addressed, that digital transformation really doesn't have a lot to do with the digital part of the name, but more with the transformation part. And even though technology is the driver of some of these transformation, at the end of the day, it's more like a business transformation that companies are trying to accomplish. Generally, they're trying to improve their efficiency or provide a better customer experience, trying to be more effective as an organization, better customer satisfaction, and make it easier for their employees. So really, it is driven by the business need. But it happens that technology is one way to enable those changes, right? And so the keyword transformation, that is the operative words in the digital transformation. So maybe we can scratch away the digital part of the term and call it business transformation. Digital is like a big part of that transformation, but there's a lot more to do than the technology itself. There's the process improvement, there's the management process re-engineering that needs to be happen, and also on the organizational change, the people side of the equation has to be changed. So business transformation is probably a more descriptive term of defining what digital transformation is. Business transformation is helping or improving the business organization that you are working in. So as Amit mentioned, a lot of business transformations fail. And why is that? Despite of all the technologies that we that are out there, and a lot of digital information fail. In fact, as I mentioned before, more digital transformation fail than succeed. And it's not that the technology is not there or that the technology can't do certain things. It is not that we have made no advancements over the last few decades, but it's because we have not addressed that business side of the transformation that I just mentioned. When we neglect the business process and the organizational side of the people side of things, we are neglecting the whole digital transformation. So no matter how great the technology is, and we don't address the people and the processes as well, in fact, if we haven't even addressed the people and the processes even better than we have invested in the technology, the likelihood of failure is very high. Next sheet, please. No, one back, sorry, two back. Then we have the trends, right? We got to deal with trends. Trends, right? We see all different kind of trends moving around, which companies have to deal with, organizations have to deal with, and the digital transformation makes the new demands of the competencies required by the professionals. This is a mixture of the technical skills, the business skills, and the behavioral aspects. So if you look at the go one further, you see that there? Next slide. Yeah, you can see, take the next slide, that one, yeah. If you look at how we came up with the whole, our career path, the DTO, you can see like with the reverse T, where we have a base of a foundation level of stuff that subjects that you need to know, like artificial intelligence, like blockchain, like cloud. And on top of that, we've set a verism. And verism as in the specialist side, being a specialist, being a professional. And verism has been designed with this in mind. So verism helps organizations to work flexible, to focus on business value, to understand the many progressive practices available company-wide. We're dealing with a company, so you have to think company-wide. And this brings clarity, so you can prioritize what needs to be done first. Let me explain that, or it's like one of the most interesting and important aspects of verism is the management mesh. It is also one that has the most, or is the most difficult to get grips with, but it lets you start with, what is the verism mesh then? The management mesh represents the various elements that influence or directly contribute to the product and the service delivery. This includes the resources, their environment, the different management practices, and of course, the emerging technologies that are used within an organization. And these elements will be different in each individual organization. And as such, an organization management mesh is customizable and unique. It will continue to evolve, and companies must be able to exploit them as required. The management mesh provides the flexibility to respond to the new developments, and since it can be easily adapted and flexed as a new requirements emerge. In other words, it gives you flexibility on what is at play, which brings you kind of like peace and calm, so you can think and focus what needs to be done first. Next slide. Yeah. Oh, well, here we see the different compositions of how the digital transformation officer is what it means, what it entails. You can go a slide further. So what brings these benefits? Well, because we got, for instance, one of the tools within the verism, this management mesh, you have visibility of what you have in your company, so you can be flexible. You can you will be ready for any changes, and you know which elements are in play, so you can focus on what to do next. Meaning that you can see where you can reduce your costs, but you can also see, or if you need to change anything, where you need to change things so you can respond faster on the customer needs or the market needs. Next slide, please. And why the DTO certification at Exxon? Well, as I explained to you, that we are only making exams and we are very good at it. The content on how these exams are built, we not always have all the knowledge about a certain module, but we make use of all the people we know, which are like consultants, advisory boards, all over the world. We're a global player, so we have a lot of input from the people who are active in this world and tell us, okay, if you make an exam, we need to make sure that these points are addressed. So it's not just one small group of people or a handful of people who think about an exam. It's compiled out of a lot of information. And you have to think of it like an exam takes about, well, at least 6 months to develop. And all these exams are based on real scenarios. What is really happening in the world and how to deal with those best. You know, we're thinking about best practices. And also, we got it mostly in a lot of different languages. So we got, well, we try to help the market as best as we can. Therefore, also we got, people are very satisfied with us. We got great scores on that one as well. And by providing companies with the right knowledge, the right methodologies, they can increase their return on investment, which is all what it comes down to. Next slide. Okay. Well, this is my part. I hope you found this information useful. And if you want to get some questions, let me know. I'll be here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Bernard. Thanks for your inputs and nice presentation, wonderful presentation. So before I open it up for question and answers, I would like to emphasize one particular slide that Bernard had taken up before. So this is something which is very important for this particular course, which is so all of you are working professionals working in different multinational companies. Now, I would presume that all of you have a significant amount of experience working in the respective roles and the respective domains that you're working in your organizations. Now, if you want to, get onto the next level, if you want to get onto, let's say, in the higher ranks of an organization, so it's very important to understand that what kind of professionals the top MNCs are looking for in today's time. There are different shades of professional, like they say, and the most critical and most in demand shape of professionals that every major organization is looking for is T-shaped professionals. Now, primarily what T-shaped professionals are, so there is one domain which is your specialized domain, right? It could be, let's say, IT service management, it could be information security, it could be IT governance, it could be anything for that matter, right? So this is this one area wherein you're really deep in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your experience, in terms of your skill sets, in terms of your qualifications, etc. So there is one area, right? You go really, really deep. However, in today's time, that is not enough to really, get onto a management or a governance role or a leadership role in an organization. It's very important that even though you have, one area which is very deep, which you are very deep with your experience and skill sets and knowledge, but you also have to have some broader competencies on the related areas, right? So that's what the T-shape is all about. So there is one area you're really deep, and then there are other broader competencies wherein you have basic understandings, high level understanding, management or governance level understanding of that competency, but may not be really deep in those areas. So that's the kind of professionals that every major organization is looking at today for their leadership roles. Now, there are courses on digital transformation, which focuses really on deep knowledge on many of the areas of digital transformation. It could be cloud, it could be artificial intelligence, it could be anything else. When it comes to digital technologies. However, there are very few courses which really caters to the T-shaped professionals, wherein you may come from one area wherein you're really deep, but you may not have the broader competencies. So Exim has very cleverly come up with this career path qualification called Digital Transformation Officer, which directly caters to the T-shaped professionals, wherein whichever area of knowledge or expertise or domain you come from, you build your broader competencies to get onto a leadership role, right? And Digital Transformation Officer really caters to that. And that's why they have actually come up with these qualifications, wherein you have three modules, which is at foundation level. You have cloud computing foundation, you have artificial intelligence foundation, and you have blockchain foundation, right? These are broader competencies. And of course, it doesn't go deep in any of these modules. They also have VariSM professional, which is at specialist level. Now, VariSM is one of the most effective and latest, service management model approach for the digital era, right? Bernard was very interestingly talking about the VariSM, management mesh. Management mesh is the most important and the crux of VariSM. So every organization, you have a lot of elements coming in from different sides, right? You have different types of resources that you have. You have your people, you have your experience, you have your knowledge, you have your money, funds. All these are different resources. Then you have different types of management practices, right, from different areas. Then you have innovative technologies, right, coming in from different places. And then you have lots of tools and technology. So it's a chaos when you get into inside an IT organization and understand all the elements it has. Now, to bring a method to that madness, to that chaos, VariSM have come up with this management mesh, which kind of helps you, bring that a calm that Bernard was talking about, and a method rather to that madness that you have in every idea of an organization. So VariSM deeply goes into understanding that how do you go at the top of the governance level, right, and manage all your digital transformation aspects and all the elements and govern them, right? So the whole DTO, digital transformation officer course from Exim primarily focuses on your broader competences, your leadership competences. That's the whole idea. So Bernard, do you want to say anything on that line? Do you agree with me?
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you hear me? Yeah, I totally agree on you on that one. Yeah,
Right.
you have to see like the digital transformation is an impact on the company as a whole. So you also need to have an understanding and a means of communication which addresses all the different departments, so to say, of a company. And therefore
Absolutely.
you use like Verism is can be seen as like the glue between the different departments, making sure that okay, if we want to move forward or we want to move in a certain direction, we have to deal with all the different departments, and Verism
Absolutely.
is the way to make that visible, what all the elements which are in play, to get them lined up and give them an overview, visibility for you for okay, if we need to go to a certain direction, left, right, bottom, above, doesn't really matter, but we know what strings to pull first, what to do first, what to focus on, which gives
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
also time to think. And because we need to think about, we cannot just do, we need to think how we shall approach that, and how we can get everybody, all the business processes, all the people along with the journey in order to make it succeed, or else it will fail.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Very well put, Bernie. All right. So that's about it, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And I would just quickly talk about the next steps, and then open the stage for all of you if you have any questions. So I would also like to tell, before we get into the question and answers, that we have our next schedule starting for DTO courses starting from 6th of April. So any of you are interested are most welcome to reach out to us. And as a special offer, as a token of appreciation for all of you who have joined in, right, we have a discount coupon for you if any of you are interested to join the DTO course. If you're joining from India, so if you take up the course, we have different pricing, of course, because of the examination cost difference at different region across the world. So if you're joining in from India, you get a discount coupon of 10,000 rupees, Indian rupees, on top of the course value. And if you're joining from anywhere in the world apart from India, you get a 200 USD discount. So that's about it. We all have your email address. So if you're interested in joining in, we will know who you are, and then we are gonna straight over give you this flat discount. Now, we also have, on a regular basis, we have multiple webinars every month. There are a couple of webinars coming in. If you're interested, you can join in our next set of webinars. There is one scheduled on 31st of March. Anyone, if any of you are from information security domain, or you're interested in that, as you understand, the de facto standard in the world for information security is ISO 27001 standard. So they've actually come up with a new version. So we now have a webinar on that from one of our principal consultants talking about that, what are the changes they've come up with in that. And then on 7th of April, we have another webinar on a certification, again, a career path certification course from Exim. It's certified, Exim certified information security officer. So if you are again from information security domain, that's going to be very beneficial for you. You might be interested to join. So just let us know. We have the email address over here. And also, before I open the stage now for the question answer, I would also like to mention that this webinar is being recorded, and you will receive a copy of the recording tomorrow, right? So you can, so those of you who've joined a little late can actually go through the webinar with the recorded sessions. All right, with that, let me just open the stage for any of you who are interested in Abin. If you can just take it over.
Sure. I would request everyone to come up with your questions. In case if you have to also write something, there's a chat option available as well.
I have a question.
Sure.
Or a couple of questions, if you don't mind. First
Sure.
of all, I need to ask about the 84%. What is the source of this information? And when you say failure, to what extent? Are you talking about total failures, or are you talking about partial failure? The second question is with regard to Exxon test, which is there any self-assessment testing that, the participants before enter to the exam or go through the courses, they could go to do a self-assessment just to kind of to see whether the person is suitable, because it is not only a study, and as it was mentioned before. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for your question, Rashid, and it's a very, very important question. So let me just put it this way. The data that you saw on the slide, that up to 84% of the failure, it's from Forbes, according to Forbes estimate. And if you're interested, we can actually share the link to you. And the second part of the same question was, is it a total failure? The answer is no, it is not a total failure. That's why they said up to 84%. A project can be a total failure, of course, or it could be a partial failure. So the estimate that Forbes came up with actually talks about partial as well as total failure. So as a whole, up to 84% of the digital projects fails according to their estimates. And for the next question from Exim, I would request Bernard to answer the question.
Yes, of course, no problem. Sure. Well, we don't really have an assessment, but we do have, or don't have an assessment yet. It will come up like within a month or so. But we have sample exams, so meaning that you can, prior to starting a training course, you can do a sample exam and see where you stand. This is also something that we use for candidates to get them ready to make an exam. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. And this opens another question. How long is the course, and how is it being provided? Is it something as a
Right.
self-study, or is it, you know, classes that need to be attended, and the duration of that?
Right. Sure, certainly. So, Rashid, there are 4 courses here, right? Once you complete all these 4 courses, then Exim will award you the title called Digital Transformation Officer. Now, what are the 4 courses? You have, a Cloud Computing Foundation, Artificial Intelligence Foundation, Blockchain Foundation, and various in Professional. Now, each of these courses, so we have 2 types of courses available for you. One would be e-learning, wherein you'll get online access to the entire course material and the related stuffs online, and you'll be given also the access to previously recorded training sessions. And then once you go through that and you're ready for the exam, we will issue the exam vouchers for you. It could be online exam vouchers, which will be valid for about a year. Or if you want, depending on the location that you're based, if we have our invigilator there, we can also conduct paper-based exams. And each of these courses, so basically, and the second option for you would be a live virtual online classes, wherein all our courses are scheduled in the evening. So primarily, let's say 7 to 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So it's like half a day, like 3 or 4 hours each day. So when it comes to, let's say, courses like artificial intelligence, that will be for, all the 3 foundations will be 2 to 3 days of courses, all evening sessions. And then when it comes to various professional, that will be 4 half a day, 4 evening sessions, right? And that's how we can, conduct the trainings.
Okay, I have one last question. I promise this is going to be my last question. Forgive me.
No, absolutely.
Okay.
No, please go ahead.
Okay, now for the young guys and girls, who's looking for accreditation, and is there, is those courses being accredited somewhere where they are going to be part of any other university or something like that, or you working on something like this in the future?
So these courses are, yeah, Bernard, you'd like to say something?
No, go ahead, Amit. I'll fill you in where needed.
Sure. So these courses are basically are developed by consultants on the related fields across the world, and then been accredited by Exim. Exim is a global certification body based in Amsterdam. And now we, Consultants Factory, are an accredited training organization accredited by Exim. And we are the one who can officially conduct these trainings and certifications across the world. However, they are professional courses and certifications, and hence not a part of any university.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay. All right. Any other questions from anybody?
Well, maybe
I think there is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sure, Bernard. Yeah, please go ahead.
Let me add to that whenever everybody who passes this exam will also receive a digital badge, which they can share amongst their peers, or so that the world can see, but also other companies can see that person who works at a certain company has a certain level of knowledge. So it's also provides a certainty yeah.
Right. Excellent. Yes. Okay. So we also have a question in the chat from Dipanjan Chaudhary. Dipanjan says that is there any discount for someone joining from European region, please? Yes, as I've just mentioned, so we are giving a flat discount of $200. And so to know, every month we do have different type of offers, right, for a week or two, right? So I would, ask my sales team to reach out to you to see what discount we have for the next batch, and then you get an additional $200 discount as a participant to this webinar as well. I hope, Dipajan, that's answer your question. Right.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying. Can you hear me?
Right. Welcome. Yes, certainly.
Okay. Thank you, Amit.
Welcome. Right. Do we have any questions? Any more questions? Okay. I guess there is no other questions. Abin? Yeah.
This is Kaustav here. So is this certification one time or it is time bound? Basically, I would like to understand this.
Got it. Yeah.
It is not time
got your
bound.
question, Kaustav. It is not. So there are certifications, I understand, where you come from. So there are certifications which are like needs to be renewed time to time, right? However, this is not something that you need to renew. So once you get certified, you've earned that qualification, and that will be there forever.
Got
so
it. Thank
you don't
you.
have to renew this. Yeah.
And so there are different modules, and to become a DTO, you need to cross different stages and give the final examination, or it's like one certification or one examination will make you a DTO. I want
Right.
more details on that. I know you have covered, but yeah, if you can just throw some more light.
Of course, certainly. No, it's a very valid question. So you're right. So there are 4 modules, and each module will be followed by a certification exam from Exim, right? So once you are certified in all these 4 modules, Exim automatically will, award you the digital badge and the certificate and the title path called digital, transformation officer. You don't really have another exam to achieve that title.
Okay, so in total, 4 certifications will give me a digital badge for
Absolutely.
transformations. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
You will also receive the digital badge per individual assessment exam. So
Right.
you will get a digital
Right.
badge for the cloud computing and for the blockchain and for the Versum. And together you get, when they're all passed, automatically you will be sent out another digital badge saying that you're the digital transformation officer.
Great.
Right.
Thanks.
Excellent. Welcome. Any other questions from anybody? All right. I think that's all we have today. So Abin, can we wrap up, or you have any other questions?
No, Amit, I think we are good. I don't see any other questions in the chat as well. So yes, we can wrap up.
All right, excellent. All right, thanks all of you. Thanks for joining in this webinar. If any of you are interested to know further about these courses, or you would want to join in, please reach out to us. You can drop in a mail at info@consultantsfactory.com. And if you're also willing to join in any other information, webinars that we have, please join in. You can get onto our website, consultantsfactory.com, and we also have a section where you can see the forthcoming webinars that we have every month. Please register and join in for our next webinars. And thanks for joining in. And special thanks to Bernard. Thank you for taking time and joining us for this session, Bernard.
Amit, thank you very much for having me. I hope everybody learned something and it was worthwhile for everybody's time. And happy to reply on any questions that might come afterwards. You can send them over to Amit and I will get them from Amit. So we'll
excellent.
Hope we'll meet again in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Stay healthy.
Lovely. Thank you, Bernard. Thanks for joining in. Good evening. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Good day, everyone.
Bye. Bye, everyone.